Alright, welcome back. I'm playing the same list again. I don't think there's any changes that I'd like to do. I'm just gonna go for it. I'd like to verify if my list is correct. Everything's in order, so let's go. I'm really lagging on trophies this season. I'm also playing less, which is relevant, you know. By the names on the top list, you can see what decks are good. You have a lot of Amulet players there. You have some blue mages there. Okay, so starting out on the draw kind of sucks. Should be fine though. Again, winning game 1 is really important. This hand's we're up against Obosh. This hand's kind of decent. So how to beat Obosh? Eidolon's certainly a good way. So this is a Seal of Fire, killing that Soul Scar. Holding Helix might mean that I could potentially try to race here, but I think that I'd rather not. I think it will be hard to race here. Another Soul Scar. To nothing. Okay, so we might have something. At the risk of him having like 2 lightning bolts, I'm gonna Helix here. And this is just good practice. You should try and remove Prowess creatures on your turn, so that if they want to save them, they're wasting Prowess triggers. Well, not wasting them because they do get to save their creature, but I don't think I need to explain that well. You know, if you try removing them on their turn, they save it and still get the attack from the Prowess triggers. Okay. So we remove the double creature start. And another Eidolon is actually quite good here. Because now I just play the first one. And sure, he casts Bone Crusher here and kills it. No Bone Crusher, that's interesting. Does he not have removal? That's something that I've found. Okay, he does have Firebolt. Okay, interesting line here for me to take. I think I am fetching a Shock tapped. Because this might be a Lurrus game. And if this is a Lurrus game, now I'm on the beatdown. Opponent is on 5 cards, which is still quite a bit, but he might be stuck with Light Up the Stage. Now he has to choose. I have to be muted for a while. Sorry about that. Okay, so I could save Lurrus to get Eidolon, but I think that at this point I want to get some board pressure on. I think I'm in a good spot. I think I'm in a good spot here. I have 10 damage in my hand for next turn. I think it's pretty impossible for me to lose, rather. Even if he wipes my board, I have 10 damage in hand and mana to cast it. Cheers. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, so him playing Lava Darts is relevant information, because not every release plays Lava Darts nowadays. Okay. Now the post-board games can get rough. Definitely want Path. I think I want Vortex. And Hushbringer sounds good. Okay, now what cards are bad? Skullcrack is just bad. So Skullcrack for Path is a sure swap. Why I want Hushbringer? It flies above them and it heals me, so it's relevant. I think it's a relevant card to be playing here. I'm siding out Boros Charm for Hushbringer. Yeah, and I don't want Vortex, I guess. It can very easily put me against the wall. Yeah, I reached that conclusion against, I think it was humans, where the Vortex ended up being not very beneficial. Okay, so we have a good opener. In Bolt, by the way, not in Swiftspear. He doesn't play a creature, okay. Drawing this Eidolon actually changes my narrative here. Because now I want to get this Swiftspear dealt with. This tells me this is Bolt, which I will gladly play into. Nope. What hand did he keep? Does he have Blood Moon? I'll be mad if he has Blood Moon here, which is honestly a good card to bring in, but it basically says 3 mana, discard 3 cards. It's gonna be the moon. I can feel it in my bones. Yeah, that's a moon. Oh no, Hardcast light up the stage? Into Double Mountain. Oh, that's rough. Although that is an Obosh in the near future. And my hand is just nuts here. I might have to shock myself here. It's probably like a Seasoned Pyromancer. Ah, it is the Blood Moon. Okay. Let's do this now. And yeah, it kinda sucks, but I think I'm still in a fine position. He's effectively at 1. He is effectively at 1. And if this connects, he's dead. Okay, so he's dead. Yeah, bringing Blood Moon when I reveal Lurrus is actually good, because this has the tendency to go long. Because this game has a tendency to go long, and them removing my Lurrus game plan is actually relevant. But an easy win. They kept a bad hand. Game 1, I think I played it correctly. The way I managed my Lurrus and my removal and my being on the aggressor seat. Of course, finding double Eidolon is red on red violence. Yeah, pretty much that. But game 1, game 2, I think that my opponent just kept a bad hand. And as good as Blood Moon is at locking me out of grinding, it's terrible at stopping me from being fast. So I'm not sure if I like that move. Because it's also a bit risky, since I could very easily just have a strong red opener. I don't love it. Then again, Prowess evolved into Obosh, I think, partly because the mirror isn't too relevant. Just having Moon top deck. Yeah, I imagine it was a Moon top deck, but still. This hand's insane versus some decks, it's crap versus others. It's probably a top deck Moon, but I'm not sure if I like keeping Moon in at all. Like, it cuts me some spells, but I don't think it's impactful enough. Another red mirror. Wow. We are on a roll here. Okay, question. Am I doing this and playing Eidolon, or am I Searing Blazing that? I think I actually prefer killing this here and playing Eidolon. I think it's only a matter of time before I get another land for Searing Blaze. Mismatched Mountains. So, not sure what version this is. This could still be... Oh no. Oh no, opponent. No, no, no. Not wait until to make a mutagenic really painful. Sure, I guess that's the correct line. Okay, so now I do need my opponent to not have a good turn here. Which I don't think he will. I think he would have killed the Eidolon and played Soulscar if he had a good turn. It's like playing 2 creatures into Eidolon is just suicide. He wants the Lutz here. So I think my opponent's gonna attack, cast Light up the stage. Probably flips removal, but he's still going down to 9. Hopefully I'll find land and I can double spell. Doesn't find a removal, which is actually super relevant for me. Another Goblin Guide. Okay, I don't love this. Does get me somewhat low, but I think that I'm in a decent enough position to do this. Okay, now if I hit him, he can't play any spells. So I prefer doing that than killing him. He can play Bedlam Reveler, but he really can't. So this is just a red Prowess, okay. Alright, so that worked out pretty fine. Again, Skullcrack is bad. What sucks here is that they're probably playing Dragon's Claw, so I actually need Destructive Revelry here. And Hushbringer is good. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut the non-removal spells. Where are my non-removal spells? Now I'm looking into playing these cards. Path is good. Hush makes Bedlam a lot worse, I think. So it's kind of a must remove for them. More so than Obosh Prowess. And I need the Destructive Revelry, sadly. So I think Skullcrack's a definite cut. I'm bringing a lot of 2-mana spells. I like cutting Boros Charm. And then just stop that side out. I don't want to bring in Vortex. Again, this is an aggro mirror, so... Or rather, it's an aggro versus aggro, which means the Vortex can really pinch me. This hand's it's not ideal. but with double path. Do I keep this? I'm really far away from casting a Destructive Revelry. My hand is also a bit awkward. But I think I have to keep. They didn't open with a creature, okay, so that's good, that's very good, okay. So I need to shock both of these fetch lands, which sucks, effectively. Is this Metamorphose? What? Ooh, a Kiln Fiend. Okay, that's okay. My instincts are telling me to bolt this here. Because if he has a mutagenic growth, I'm kinda screwed, so I'm actually gonna bolt this here. And I draw that stomp. Oh, that's actually perfect. So now I only need to put it down if I need to cast Destructive Revelry. I'm assuming he kills this Eidolon, which is fine. Come on, opponent. Yeah, you have to kill it. So what am I doing here? I think that with Double Path and Searing Blaze I can do this. I'm not playing the land, because I do need the landfall trigger eventually. Okay, so Bedlam's starting to become a real threat. He's digging for it. He's still digging for it, and now Bedlam is basically online. Which sucks. Can I find a Hushbringer here? A Goblin Guide? Sure, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. There's a chance I regret not playing the Stomping Ground. Soul Scar, and that's fine. Swiftspear is also fine. Now Bedlam is the problem here. Okay, so my opponent's respecting my Goblin Guide, sure. Getting hit for 2 here sucks, but... now comes the real question. Do I shock myself to path one of those? No, I don't. I'm coming to the point where I might regret not fetching a second white source. Okay, so my opponent's against the wall here. Yeah, I have to path it, sadly. I have a second one, which makes it fine. It's not really something I wanted to do. It's fine. Okay, I think I need to find a second white source, but if I do find it, I can bring back Eidolon, which is pretty big at this point. Still no Bedlam Reveler. I'm assuming he has removal. Ooh, Helix is a fine draw. I'm gonna play the Seal of Fire now, just to get it out. I'm on 5 damage. Means any other burn spell is lethal here. Except Searing Blaze, because I did play the land. Okay, so no creature. Just still looking for it. And that's just lethal. It's safe to shoot here, right? Yeah. Alright. 2 quick wins over mono red Prowess. I think both those game 1 were properly piloted by me, but I can't take too much credit for the second game, both of games 2. I think my opponents just kept bad hands and got punished by it. Unlike being realistic, Burn is very good at punishing bad keeps. A lot of the power of the deck is punishing bad keeps. So, you know. Okay, with triple fetch, I'm fetching a mountain here. No real reason to... No real reason to fetch a shock just yet. Okay, what are we up against? Ooh, another mirror? Let's go, baby. Is this a Goblin guide? Ah, opponent respects the Swiftspear. Okay. This might end up being a Lurrus game, so I am gonna play the mana for the Lurrus. I think the first white source is... Ooh, it's jump. Wait, what? Okay. What is this? Oh, it's Shadow, okay. So it's Shadow, huh? Okay, if this is Shadow, I can just wait here. Like the Arithmetic really threw me off. This is a strong start from them. Like, this is an aggressive start from them. This is only 3 damage. And if I find a spell off the top, I just win. So guess what I'm doing? Boros Charm. Ooh, Mountain. That's actually pretty bad. I shouldn't have played the Mountain. Now Searing Blaze isn't lethal off the top. That's good. Bobble is good because it means the draw comes in late, and they have a lot of sorceries. They should have checked. Oh, am I dead here? Might actually. Oh no, I'm not. I'm not because this costs red to activate, yeah. But I do need a spell here. Basically any spell works. Except maybe Swiftspear. I'm gonna... Okay, that works. Okay. We won game 1. I only bring in Path for Searing Blaze. Or for Skullcrack. Nah, Searing Blaze is much harder to turn on, sadly. I like it to kill their small creatures, but their small creatures aren't their main plan, so... I'm gonna keep this. I think it's a bit naive to keep this. Because my opponent goes land, I go guide, they push, they untap. They discard seal, I find it 2-drop. And then I'm locked out of playing my hand. But I'm gonna keep it because if I find land here, I'm in a very good position. Like, double Boros Charm and Helix is really good in this matchup. Shock into Inquisition. Oh no, Bowmat? Okay, I'm so down. Oh, and we got Path. You know what Path reads in this matchup? Target player, when target player, like Path just has an extra mode where you discard it and counter their discard spells, because they can't not take Path from me. Yeah, this is so fine. Less so. Though I need to find a land here. If I don't find a land, I'm screwed. Yeah. Now this is starting to become a problem. I think the keep was justified. But if I don't find a land this turn, then I'm really screwed. So many Bowmats. Am I killing any of these? Am I killing any of these? Yeah, I have more than enough cards. I have more than enough cards for this to be... Yeah, opponent's Amazon. I think I need to kill. I have enough gas to kill him, but what I don't have are lands, so I need to try and survive until I find those. And he had the Scourge. Okay, now I need a land so bad here. Come on, game. Come on. Just one land. I could have waited to see if he casts Battle Rage. Okay, I'm getting to a place where really... it's a plain land? Oh, come on, game, you're killing me here. Actually interesting. Guide? This is interesting because I have to pass here. Because if Guide dies to something, I'm so far behind. And now I'm actually in a decent spot. Double Bowmat's not as annoying as triple Bowmat. He might crack it here. I'm assuming he cracks a Bowmat here. I actually should do it. Yeah, I should do it post-combat in this. I'm not killing the Bowmats. Yeah, those Bowmats are getting to be pretty valuable at 4 cards. Alright. Oh no, opponent. It's not how you do that. Discarded Kroxa. Well, I have a hand fill. I have a full hand, so the 4th Bowmat just comes in. Wow. Oh, he passes. Oh, I'm in such a good position here. That's the wrong land. Ooh, that's the wrong land. I can't deal 8 here. I'm in a good enough position to win next turn. Can't believe he didn't find a second shadow. I need to protect myself from double lightning bolt. Now he needs triple lightning bolt. He escapes Kroxa here. Okay, he didn't. And so I think we just win. If he has Cling to Dust, this gets a bit nastier. Because he can survive. He can survive for a turn. He did not. Alright. We're running pretty hot here. So I'm taking a mental note here. My current mana base and no core in the side has really not been too detrimental to the deck. Thank you very much for the follow, Reservadel92. Hope you're having a wonderful time. You feel Boros Burn is tier 2-3 now. Ooh, we're up against Canister. That's rough. Do I want to know what he's on? What is Canister? This Canister. I'll reveal Lurrus, doesn't matter. Oh, this hand's good. I think that definitely not tier 3. I think that burn, like, I'd call tier 1. I've been playing burn since the beginning of time, it's starting to feel a bit slow or outpowered. I honestly think that burn's quite good right now. But you do have to build your sideboard to the meta. Like, because if you are what is this? Not oops, so that's cool. Oh, it's blue-black control, right? Makes sense. Okay, just let me answer you here. I don't think that burn is really feeling out of power. I think that the meta is very good against burn, but if you take appropriate sideboard choices, okay, I'm gonna spite my opponent here and play the Goblin Guide off the top, just because it's tilting. It's still the correct choice, but still. Like, my list right now plays Surgical to fight all the Euro nonsense, and Hushbringer to fight all the ETB nonsense. Thanks, Mr. Simba. That's pretty funny. Opponent might have push here, which I don't care too much about at this point. I'm playing Seal of Fire, because it is uncounterable damage. The green splash is basically, yeah, the green splash is 4-0. Ooh. Am I going to ruin this man's? I think I want that. Sorry, Reservavel. The green is also there because Dryad decks, Amulet Titan and Green-White Reclaimer, are really good right now. And this man just has tons of removal, Jesus. That's a good spell to draw here. Okay, with how fast that resolved, I'm confident that he doesn't have a counterspell yet. Flooded Strand. That's very dangerous to crack because I have a Seal of Fire in my battlefield. Is this just a Narset? Oh, that's so... I have a feeling he needed the blue. Wait, he fetched black? Is this a discard spell? Oh, a Cling to Dust. That's problematic. That Skewer should be enough. Skewer should be enough. Oh, it's not enough. Interesting. Can start escaping this, or he can snap Cling now, which is a problem. Yeah, one short. It's because Seal of Fire, man. It's because Seal of Fire. And the land there. Do I want to show the land or do I want to bluff it? He plays this card. I think I want to bluff it. If he is bold enough to do this, he has to, right? Because I have a spell, he loses either way. It goes up to 6, which is definitely a problem. Definitely a problem. And this doesn't faze me at all. That's a good draw. I think that without Uro. Ooh, Jace. Jesu. I'm definitely casting this Helix now. He's brainstorming. Interesting. No attacks, means he has force. Oh, that's actually a decent draw. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put Lurrus in hand. I'm gonna play Swiftspear. I'm gonna kill Snap. And I'm attacking for 1. What this means is that because Seal wasn't lethal either way, and this just puts pressure on the board, which he now has to deal with. He might is brainstorming, but now I'm also on Lurrus plus Seal mana, so he needs to respect the Lurrus in hand. That this attacks more axes than okay, he's what's this called? I feel like this has a name. By the way, Reservedel, if you're still here, I hope you are, because this is a tough matchup, so that's why I stopped explaining. Yeah, I think that burn is still decent right now. I'd probably put it at tier 2 for sure. This is interesting. This is quite interesting. It's not tier 1.5 where it wants to be, but I think that it has enough tools. I regret many things. This is one of those. Hey, Munish, I'm off Blood Moons, okay? So that should be enough. Thank you very much for the sub, my man. Means a lot to me. Okay, so let me think here. He definitely has force. Definitely has force. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If I cast this, he forces it. He still has removal for it. If I attack, he has to deal with it. It's the same thing, right? So now here comes the more important question. The more important question. And he has him having this card is a pain in the ass. Doesn't play around Mana Leak. So he has Fatal Push. He probably has Force too. Yep. Okay, now he's on 2 cards. So now, well, he has a Jace. Yeah, he telegraphed that Force Pretty obviously when he tapped for Jace when I had cards in hand, so it's pretty telegraphed. What did he do with Jace? That if he Cryptic is the only real problem here. Okay. I think that as long as he doesn't brainstorm, I keep going at it. As long as he doesn't... Okay, he's brainstorming, so he has no answers. This is what this tells me. He doesn't want to risk looking at the top of my deck, because if I draw a threat, he just loses. Now, perfect draws are like Lightning Bolt into Lightning Bolt. That's always the answer. Again, sorry, Reservedel. So yeah, I think that tier 2 is where it's at. But you do have to make those concessions in the side. Okay, here's my problem. He's running discard. I cannot try and play the long game. This makes some of his draws dead draws. So I'm fine with that. So yeah, I think that you have to make some concessions, like playing Surgical is cool and all, but like it has its downsides. Splashing the green also has its downsides, and like Hushbringer is such a non-card in so many matchups. Oh, this is where the fun begins. Well, we can't do it again, so that's fine. Alright, so... Oh, we might have put Force on top. Why do this? He keeps brainstorming. I might have Cryptic, like Cryptic and Force up. It's dangerous. Alright, I'm just gonna do the good old control thing, where you just start hoarding cards. If I draw a Lightning Bolt, I need to draw really well for a couple of turns. Also, let's not forget that my opponent plays Cling to Dust. And that is a problem. Oh, that's bold. So he has Force and probably Cryptic. What am I doing here? Eidolon is bad right now, but I can probably use it to draw that Cryptic. Okay, so here's my thinking. Eidolon. Eidolon, and I need to take action here because he has Cling to Dust in his graveyard. And plenty of fuel for it. He Cryptics this. Ooh, we Archmage's Charm it. That's rough. It's really rough. Because he has Force, right? I have to assume he has Force. He has Force. I can play Swiftspear attack. He definitely has an answer for it. Okay, I'll save this. Ooh, do I want to Helix here actually? Yeah. Him forcing right now is a good trade for me. It connects, okay. I think he's turned the corner, tough luck. Yeah, but I don't think you ever concede these matchups because if he ever doesn't have it, I just win. And that's fine. This plays into Cryptic, but it's fine. Like with this, Cling to Dust. There. Yes, push, sure, and Cling. Wow. Well, Cling runs out, you know? Especially in a deck that has so many things. Ooh, he stole my Swiftspear. That's fine. Actually. He has to win, right? He's probably turned the corner, but I'm not gonna concede because I don't think you should. I don't think you should concede. I will, however, look at deck lists. Because I do know that he... Yeah, I think he was the one. Was he the one that created this deck? I think it was him, right? What does he play? As win cons, ooh, 2 Snapcaster. And this side. That's annoying inside. He plays Kalidas. That's annoying. Okay. Okay, so here's the plan. I can't let Jace ult. I can't let Jace pop off. I'm not killing him before Jace pops off. And I might be able to stop Jace from actually popping off. Just baiting a counterspell here. Might look like I'm close to winning. I'm really not. Because this is 7. They can crack this and cling again. So this is my new plan. Ooh, that's not great. So I think this is it, right? I think this is it. Yep. He left a card on top, which means it's a land. Now he pops Jace and I lose. Okay, GG's for game 1. Abrum is playing the deck he top 8'd with. Yeah, probably. 2-mana league. Yeah, he's probably playing that version. Alright, sideboarding. Searing Blaze is actually, what do I want in? Vortex for sure, Surgical for sure. There's an argument to playing Hushbringer because it turns off. It's a beater that turns off snap. I don't play 2 snap. In playing Kalidas is a big problem though. If he finds that Kalidas, I'm screwed. Although I have Vortex. So, okay, Searing Blaze definitely goes out. I'll just top that off with Helix. What's annoying is that I lost because of... I theoretically lost because of Seal of Fire. Because it would have been enough to get lethal, but I can't forget that Seal of Fire was important as turn 1 removal in my other 3 matches. So, you know, that's pretty relevant. By the way, I really like my opponent's deck. It just goes to show that what people see as the meta isn't set in stone, so you can just do your own thing. Ah, so close to being a good hand. Like, this hand folds to a push. Although... Thanks, man. Hope you have a good day. Or a good night, depending on where you are. Do I want to keep this? It feels so slow. If I don't find a land, I'm just screwed. I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep. Cause yeah, it has problems with a turn 1 push. It's not a push. Oh, that's actually really good. And I find the land, it's even better. Oh, please tell me he doesn't play Spell Snare. No Spell Snare. Is he shocking himself to kill me here? Oh, he is. Opponent. Opponent. Alright. Let's see what we're up against. He has a Cling to Dust and Eliminate. Yes, Sunken Ruins. Okay. So that Eliminate hits Eidolon, right? And because of the Sunken Ruins, it hits Eidolon next turn. Okay, so I actually Cling, Elim, Thorn, Jace, Land. Sunken. Okay. Just taking note of his hand. Let me see his deck configuration both side. Has a second Cling. Only plays 2 Inquisition. Mana Leak, okay. This is such a strong deck. Okay, so my conclusion was I don't want to play Eidolon into Eliminate. Okay, so I have a nasty play here, which is play Swiftspear and say go. And now he's pressured into playing that Eliminate here. That kind of takes care of all my problems, right? I actually shouldn't have done this. Just gonna say go. Yeah, I'd rather cast Boros Charm. Do I save this? Okay, question time. Do I save this? Or do I try to save this? If I try to save this, he can force, but that's not a good play. This isn't even guaranteed to deal all 4. So I'll do it. I'll EOT Boros Charm him and then play the Eidolon. Like this land punt was a problem because I telegraphed the 2 mana play. Found a tapped land. Okay, so he might double black. Okay, so he's cantripping. I'm charming him here. Now Eidolon comes through. He can Jace here. If he goes land Jace, yeah, that's definitely a problem. Definitely a problem. But come on land, come on land, come on land. That works. It works, it works. Okay, not... I have to kill the Jace. I have to kill the Jace. Oh, this is perfect. That's a 2-mana... That's a Doomblade, basically. Jace is gone. He still has Force. I can't forget that he still has Force. Eliminate the Eidolon. That's close to being the perfect draw. And he sees the Kalitas. That's a problem. It's definitely a problem. He just slams that, obviously. Can't shock here. Ooh, a land. Spell, spell, spell. Oh, that's a problem. That's a real problem. Oh. What's he drawing? Eliminate. Okay. What's the dealio if I double block here? I double block. He kills one of my dudes. Okay. Let me think. Line A. I Skullcrack. He eliminates my Eidolon. He goes down 4. He forces my Skullcrack. He goes up to 7. I top deck whatever. I cannot kill him. Option 2. I double block. He has to eliminate the Eidolon at the risk of losing Kalitas. He goes on 4. Then I Skullcrack. He forces. He goes down to 2. He gains 3. So it goes back up to 5. At 5, I cannot kill him in any way. However, if this just hits, he goes up to 9. Actually, my best bet here is just hitting. If you want to counter this, pay the life, my dude. He did not counter it. Interesting. Perfect draw. Not on time. He has force. He has force in hand. Damn, such a tight game. Such a tight game. I forgot about the zombie. That's actually pretty relevant. He has force. And he has mana to pay for the force. He might make the mistake, so... Because theoretically, if he just attacks... This could still work. If he just attacks, I block. Well, now it doesn't work. Come on, opponent. Well, I know he has force, so... Okay. Okay, so blue-black control. Alright, interesting matchup, I think. It was quite long. I think I had a lot of decisions to make. I think I can blame game 1 on Seal of Fire. I would have won if I were running Rift Bolt instead of Seal of Fire. But I value Seal of Fire really high right now. And game 2... Did I perhaps get too cute with Eidolon? Like that, there's an argument there, because I tried to play around him having the removal, but I knew he had a removal. I think that playing around that removal is fine. In the end, what got me was that I don't know, like, do I want to bring in Path for the single Kalidas he plays? Ooh, and we're up against Harry. Damn, what a call of cards. He's probably playing blue-black control too. This is the keep. Ever since of the word. Okay, so no. What am I doing here? I think that EOT Bolt concealing some info is good here. I'm assuming he has a counterspell for Eidolon. I'm assuming he has a counterspell for Mana Leak, so I'm just gonna say go. Try to bait out some action. My next turn I'm planning to Lava Spike into land Eidolon. Which might be enough. Let the Eidolon go through. Ooh, the fairy. It's fine. The fairy goes up to 5. That's actually a pretty interesting draw. Yeah. Yeah, he has to downtick the fairy here, I think. I think he has to downtick the fairy here. Now I get to maybe push him into a corner. Oh, what am I doing here? Yes, I have lethal, but I think it's naive to think he doesn't have an answer. There we go. And Eidolon sticks the landing. And no cryptic makes this go. Makes this a win, I think, yeah. Neither this. Alright. This is probably blue-white control. And we got game 1. Alright. Vortex for sure. Okay, so can I slot in 2 surgical? I kind of want to slot in 2 surgical. Actually gonna side out Skewer. Skewer is a bit awkward at times when you're trying to play, try to play your spells in a timely fashion. This game was really fun. Like the way I was battling to make sure Eidolon stuck. I had to bait out at the Fairy Minus, and I had to bait out a path. And it was just likely that he had those. I mean, I knew that the Fairy was there. I also knew that it was likely that he had a path. At least, I think fighting 1 is something that always happens. So I think it's good to play around it. This hand's really good. This hand's really good. But I do need to find a line off the top. Because I can go Swiftspear attack. And then maybe Eidolon. If I draw the land, if I don't, I can still Swiftspear attack again. I do find the land, which is pretty good. The reason I wanted to bring in Surgical is because a Mystic Sanctuary deck that plays Timely Reinforcements is just annoying. Okay, now comes the big question. Okay, so this guy has Aether Gust. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I misplayed there. I should have fetched first, because now he gusts me, and I shuffle it away. No gust, huh? Opt is a weird play here. I'm assuming he has Path. Yeah, okay. I should have shocked myself, not only because my opponent plays Path, but also because I want to get him to... I want to get him to a point... I want to get low enough that his early timelies aren't good. It's really good for me. Ah, that's perfect. Jesus fucking Christ. Am I surgicaling away the path to see his hand? I don't think so. Okay, he's at 12. I can honestly wait here. He has the Omen. This goes right to... Well, I can't know if he has the Omen in hand. So I'll delete it from there. Unless he puts top. He puts one on top, one on bottom. Okay. So I can't know. I have Skull. I think that keeping Skullcrack up is relevant. Oh, this is man. I'm getting okay. This is the variance game for me because wow. Didn't really take into account that I had to do that. Okay. Does he have the? Oh, he has the path. Book. I should have surgical in response. Yeah. My bad. My bad. Let's see what he has in hand. Fairy, Archmage's Charm. Okay, so I'm pretty covered, right? I'm pretty covered, unless if he draws Timely here, I'm screwed. Charm, Island, Def 3, Def 5. Okay. It goes down to 1. Do I want to do anything here? I want to perhaps surgical the Teferi? I want to surgical this Teferi. Yeah, it's one less thing for me to worry about. He drew Opt. Okay. I think I have him. He drops the island for sure here. Oh, he opts first. Okay. So no Teferi. He's looking for Timely. Yeah, he's looking for Timely. And Timely here actually is really good. Did he find it? Oh my god. Oh no, okay. So I do need a spell here. Okay, got him. In case he has a force that I don't know about, just seal the deal. And win this at a 4-1. Alright, pretty good league. And pretty interesting actually. 3 red aggro and 2 blue control matchups. Yeah, it was a. Ooh, am I muted? Oh no, cool. Okay, a pretty good league. I think it showcased a lot of what I think is good with the list, namely Seal instead of Riftbolt, because not only does it not get awkward with Vortex, which you're never really siding out Riftbolts. Well, you are. You're siding out Riftbolts against the Fairy, but very rarely are you siding out Riftbolts, and Seal is just very solid. It's also a turn 1 removal piece, which I think was important in my Prowess matchups. And then what other changes am I playing? Surgical was He could have won me a turn earlier there if I had respected that he could fetch the path. I just didn't do the math, because if I noticed he would stay alive at 1, I would have surgical the path again, because that's that's the only play he could do there realistically to beat me. So surgical's good against control. And Vortex didn't get to shine today, neither did Destructive Revelry, but the mana base, which was always something that I considered a downside. Like, I always considered splashing green a downside to the aggro matchups, and today they were all clean victories, so yeah, that's cool. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm gonna raid Harry, because I'm an asshole and I want to tilt him. Let's raid Harry. Okay, let's just end the ads and we'll raid Harry. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.